Oji, you mentioned to me that you've been to almost 50, 55 countries. So you must have had some great, amazing memories. Tell me one of your favorite travel memories, no?
There have been so many of them. But let me tell you about one that was unique. I'm fascinated by planes. It's just matching that they can fly. And despite more than 2,000 flights, I love the takeoff. And the most astounding of the commercial airliners was the supersonic Concorde. With its delta wings and its drooped nose, I really wanted to fly it just once. But the most my company or I could afford was a business class ticket. And the Concorde was more expensive even than first class. Then in July 2000, a terrible accident happened. And Air France Concorde crashed while taking off. And so all Concorde services were suspended. And after a while, it was announced that they would resume for a while. And the Concorde would be permanently withdrawn at the end of 2003. Now this was my chance to fly it. And I wanted to fly from London to New York, not the other way around, because you reached before you had left. The flight time was 3 hours, the time difference was 5 hours. So if you left at, say, 10:30 in the morning, you would arrive by around 9 o'clock in time for your meeting. So I checked for the ticket, and it was 2 lakh rupees incremental to fly from London to New York. And in 2003, that was a lot of money. So I checked with my wife, who never likes to waste money. And she hesitated. Then I told her that when I'm retired, if somebody asked me what I did in my career, I'd basically say I flew a lot. And someone might ask if I flew the Concorde, and I'd have to say no. This trick worked because she saw how keen I was, and she said, okay, go ahead. So I bought my ticket. The Concorde lounge was British Airways' showcase lounge with the finest champagnes and wine. And it was a thrill to see the little plane parked on the tarmac from the lounge. Soon we got onto it, and it had a narrow fuselage with just 2 seats on either side of the central aisle. And I got into my seat, and soon a very substantial gentleman poured himself into the seat next to me. In fact, he overflowed a bit onto my seat. And of course, the Krug and Dom was served, but he didn't have a glass. And we took off at such a crazy angle. And my attention was riveted on the 2 display dials at the entrance to the cockpit, one for speed and the other for height. And it was really heady to see it climb past 35,000, 40,000 feet that normal aircraft do, and dizzying to get to 50,000 feet, and finally 54,000 feet. And then I started looking at the speed dial. We went past Mach 1, and I was in shock as it climbed up to Mach 1.5 and finally over Mach 1.8, which was faster than 2,200 kilometers per hour. I was already in an exalted state, but with the champagne, I was really flying high up in the heavens. Except that the gentleman next to me had not taken a glass. This made no sense to me, so I asked him why. And his reply made me understand what the Concorde was truly all about. And he said he's a lawyer in London who's flying to New York for a client dinner. And since he'd have to drink copiously at dinner, he was refraining from having a sip now. Soon we landed, and New York time was announced. And sure enough, we had reached before we left.
Bob Hope once said, "The Concorde is great. It gives you 3 extra hours to find your luggage."
We'll be back next week with the next episode. Please like and comment below. And if you like a lot, do share.
Also, subscribe to our channel Qisse so that you don't miss out on any Qissa by the OG.
YOE,
What's YOE?
years of experience.